Have you ever felt behind in life? Not because you weren't trying, but because the path ahead wasn't clear? I work with students all the time who feel this way. Students that are smart, ambitious, capable, but feel stuck. And I get it, because I've been there. For much of my life, I chased immediate gratification. Easy comforts, short-term gains. Eventually, I swung into the opposite direction, obsessively linking my self-worth to my accomplishments. And if I wasn't impressive, I wasn't good enough. Now, this mindset did teach me a lot of things, made me more ambitious, pushed me to be resilient. But in time, my successes began to feel empty. In my freshman year at Georgia State, I took a professional development course. And my professor, Mr. Ed, changed everything for me. One class, he gave us a challenge: build a life plan. Now, casually, I said, I want an internship. And then he responded with questions I wasn't ready for. Internship in what? What after that? What about 10 years from now? But the most important question he asked was, why? Now, these questions forced me to pause. I recognized that I was chasing external validation rather than fulfilling my internal purpose. That I was drifting without direction. I wasn't following a path. I was winging my life. And in that moment, I knew I had to start writing it. The first direction I looked was to my peers. Thought about those I admired most. They seemed so confident and collected. They had something else. Every move they made was intentional. They spoke things into existence. They talked about where they were going as if they had already been there. Where did they get that from? And I began to ask myself, what kind of life do I want to live? And why? And I started to take things moment by moment. I began to embrace patience, not as just an abstract virtue, but in everyday moments. Previously, I'd rush through conversations and tasks, impatient for results. But now I step back, I slow down, I listen, and I find joy in every moment of growth or change. I learned to be okay with the process itself, not just the outcomes. And all of this helped me find a deeper truth, my story. Today, as the president of the Finance Development Society, we try to help students pursuing finance land the careers they want. But I also do my best to help students realize their deeper motivations. See, when every time students share their career aspirations, I always ask them, why? And like me a couple years ago, many struggle to answer clearly. So here's a 3-step process that I share with them that you can implement right now. First, reflect on your early life experiences when you naturally gravitated towards something. Maybe you like to build Legos, or you like to dress up a Barbie doll, or maybe you just enjoyed watching your parents do something they were passionate about. Second, think about a recent activity that you've done that didn't feel like work at all. Maybe you taught someone how to do something, or you did community service, or maybe it was just a school project. And third, you want to find that common thread, the thread that connects the first two. And the thread points to your deeper purpose, your why. For me, at an early age, I would always watch my dad watch CNBC, trying to understand investing and try to make a better life for himself and his family. And I took that with me into my teenage years when I started investing on my own. Then when I joined Georgia State, I used those skills to join the Student Managed Investment Fund. Then had internships in venture capital and private equity, which quite frankly didn't feel like work at all. And these experiences helped deepen my passion for investing. And I also like helping people. In fact, I was raised to be that way. My mom did always say, whatever you put out into the world always comes back to you. And all of that, plus watching what my dad was doing, helped me realize that I want to create a legacy defined by impact. That in the future, I want to start my own investment fund to invest in businesses that matter. That's my story. That's my why. And for you, it may be different. But whatever it may be, that why transforms everything that you do into an important chapter in your life. And once we internalize that, we embrace it and we share it. And that's what storytelling is. And we all know the impact of storytelling. Empirical research from Harvard and Berkeley showed that when leaders share their stories, it increases trust, engagement, and motivation. The Journal of Workplace Learning shows that when leaders share their stories, it fulfills employees' basic psychological needs like autonomy, competence, and relatedness. It's also used as a rebalancing tool in organizations by aligning employees' internal narratives with the issues in front of them. And I led this talk with a story. But just sharing our story, our purpose, that's just the first step. The second step is helping our peers realize their story. Because it's part of a leader's duty to guide our peers to map out a vision of their future as if they were writing a novel. So, here's my call to all the leaders in the room. When working with your peers, sit down with them and do what Mr. Ed did. Ask them, what do you want and why? And have them develop that plan, that story for their lives. As leaders, we're not here to just manage people. We're here to guide people through their own narratives, help them see their future like a well-written novel, a novel with purpose and with power. Because at the end of the day, people don't just need a vision, don't just need a boss. They need a vision, and we can help them write it. Thank you.